everyone, in celebration of St. Paul University Quezon City's Diamond Jubilee, welcome back to the fourth episode of Tipol Talk. I'm Patty Cruz, your host for today. For today's Tipol Talk, we will be discussing the topic of voters' education, since the Philippine national election is on May 9, 2022. As a matter of fact, as of October 18, 63 million Filipinos are registered to vote, and 32.7 million of our registered voters belong to the youth sector. With that being said, we invited some guests to share their insights on the elections. They will also guide us on how to be bright and vote right. So keep watching and we will be right back. We are back mga ka-people with our first guest. She was a Voters Education Committee member for the BA Communication Society and is currently the Public Relations Officer of the Polinian Student Government in SPUQC. Without further ado, let us welcome Andrea Alarcon. Hi Andrea, how are you?
Hello, Patty. I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good. That's good to hear. Since you are registered and a first-time voter, how do you feel about voting for this coming election?
Honestly, hindi ko alam kung ano ba dapat maramdaman ko, kung kakabahan ba ako or ma-excite ako. Pero right now, what I'm feeling is we're about to have change. Nararamdaman mo ba yung change, Patty? Kasi ako, gusto ko na talaga magkaroon ng change. And with that, I think um, yung kailangan ko rin maramdaman is, and ma-feel talaga, is yung effort ng lahat ng tao na alamin kung sino yung candidates, alamin kung ano yung platforms ng each candidates. And ayun, nakakatuwa lang rin na na sobrang daming kabataan ngayon na yung nag-register. And with that, I think mas may kaalaman tayo na mga kabataan na kung sino ba dapat talagang ating iboboto. And kwento ko lang sa'yo, Patty, na um, ever since before pandemic, hindi ako naging aware sa mga politics ng Philippines. Pero nung nag-start yung pandemic, Patty, doon ako nagkaroon ng konting ganon. Kasi iba talaga yung pakikitungo ng leaders natin ngayon sa Philippines, ganon. And with that, I think sobrang nakakakaba and nakaka-excite na kung sino ba talaga yung mananalong president sa atin. And hindi lang president, like yung national, yung natin, mga politicians, ganyan, senators. And siguro dapat sa tingin ko rin maramdaman ng mga tao, and hindi lang ako kasi 'di ba, responsibility natin yan as a Filipino. Maramdaman natin kung may paki ba talaga yung pinuno na to or gusto niya lang ng power, ganon. Like yung wealth niya, ganon, baka ganon lang iniisip nila. Ayun.
I agree, Andrea. Gusto ko rin yung change para sa ating mga kabataan. But it's good to know the change you feel in our country. So, as a student leader, what is your ideal leader of our country?
Sa ngayon, Patty, ang gusto ko lang na maging leader is sana meron siyang empathy and meron siyang pake talaga sa community natin ngayon. And lastly, dapat respectful siya sa lahat ng mga kasama niya sa politics. Kasi importante rin talaga na magkaroon na kayo ng maayos na communication with good colleagues, ganon. Kasi importante sa leader, dapat nakikinig ka rin sa mga suggestion ng mga iba't ibang kakampi mo, ganon. And I think sa tingin ko as a student leader, importante rin talaga na yung maboboto nating pinuno ay dapat may pakinabang talaga siya na with regards to his opinions, with regards to his plans, platforms, etc. And ayun, sa tingin ko yun yung iboboto kong pinuno.
Totoo yan. So, dapat may puso yung ginagawa niya para sa bansa. Thank you for sharing your insights with us, Andrea. So, now we will have another guest in our next segment. So, don't leave just yet, and we will be back after a short break. And we're back mga ka-people. For this segment, we invited another special guest. He is currently the Vice President for Internal Affairs for BA Communication in SPUQC. He was recently a student panelist for the discussion forum organized by the Association of Major Religious Superiors in the Philippines, the Catholic Educational Association of the Philippines, and Ignatian Spirituality and Formation Office titled Bet Mo Ba Siya? Kwentuhang Eleksyon last September 24, 2021. Let's all welcome Jerick Rabe. How are you doing today, Jerick?
Hi, hello, good afternoon to our dear viewers.
By the way, congratulations for being invited as a student panelist of Bet Mo Ba Siya? Kwentuhang Eleksyon. How was it like to be part of the discussion?
Yes, thank you for your congratulations. Being there, sobrang honored talaga ako because, that's a very big crowd with the SAYAP and the ISFO organizing such an event. It was an honor. It was very thrilling. Also, it's a bit challenging since meron ding iba pang panelists na nandun who might share a different perspective than I am, but luckily, or let's say gladly, we have some things in common, or rather many things in common, and it was a very, very enlightening discussion for everyone.
Yeah, so as a first-time voter, what do you think is the purpose of election and why is it important?
Election, no? It's a very, very important thing. Although being a first-time voter, syempre very fresh ka pa, hindi ka ganun ka familiar sa mga kung sino yung iboboto mo. Pero ang masasabi ko lang sa ganyan, alamin natin, research more, and we have to think if this person has a particular set of values as well as the skill to make a difference when it is really needed. So, despite being new, kailangan magbigay ka pa rin ng effort into that kasi it's something na very valuable not only to you but also to the future of our country.
I agree with that, Jerick. So we really need to do more research. So now, how do you think the youth should pick the right candidate to vote for?
Ayun nga, no? As I said before, take a look at the values and the set of skills that will be that the candidate has if meron talaga siyang potential to be a great leader or have the capability to lead the people. And kung bago ka man and medyo hindi ka ganun ka familiar sa mga taong yun or hindi ka ganun ka adept sa pagre-research tungkol sa mga background nila, maybe you can ask someone or those who are experts from this or watch their debates para malaman mo kung sino ba talaga yung napupusuan mong candidate. Ganon yung pinakamagandang paraan para malaman mo kung ano ba talaga yung or kung sino ba talaga yung dapat na iboto. And kasi although maging maingat tayo kasi there are informations that are fake. So we must still be careful when researching on our own.
Yes, tama yun. Dapat hindi tayo nagpapaniwala sa fake news. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerick, for sharing your wisdom with us today. Don't leave, mga ka-people, because we will be right back for our last guest. And we're back. For our third guest, we will be joined by a professor who is surely known and loved by lots of students, as we would like to call him Sir Body. He has a PhD and master's degree in history and graduated in UST with cum laude and magna cum laude respectively. He is a former program chair of General Education, Political Science, and Education. He is the associate professor in SPUQC. He is also an assistant professor in UST for the History Department and General Education. Let us all welcome Dr. Salvador Evardone.
Okay,
Hi, Sir
thank you.
Buddy! Kamusta po kayo?
Mabuti naman, Patty. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so On a personal note, how would you rate the performance of the present government in responding to the health crisis?
The question is about how the government responded with the ongoing crisis. Definitely, if you will read the news coming from other countries, we are lagging behind. No? We're not on top of the situation compared to countries in Southeast Asia. Nonetheless, the problem with overcoming the pandemic is not an easy job. Maraming dapat alalahanin dito. And we are responding. No? We have the vaccination. The government is instilling in the minds of the people about the protocol. We have the IATF. We have agency to do their jobs. But I think the problem is too big to surmount. Mahirap talagang harapin ang problema. Now, are we responding properly? I think we need a lot of job to do. We need a lot of tasks to do. And unfortunately, because of the numbers, mukha yatang kulang ang ating response. We have the response but nakukulangan ako.
So I think tayo po ang pag-asa para sa ating bansa as voters for our next leader. What do you think are the most urgent issues in the Philippines that need to be addressed by the next government?
By the next government, you are talking about the winners of the 2022 elections, no? Una, the foremost issue that we have to address is about the honesty of people serving. Okay, because if people who serve is dishonest, then you have a lot of problem. There you have the corruptions becoming authoritarian, at the same time using their power for their own goods. That is actually the perennial problem of our government, the issue on honesty. We need to be honest as a leader. We need also to be honest as a people. So this will give us an idea on our education, because serving the country talks about nationalism. Do you love your country? If you love your country, you will not do corruptions. You will be honest in serving your country. Now, if you do not love your country, you do not love the people, then you will become selfish. And selfishness will lead to a lot of problems. No? Marami, they will just protect their own position by having that political dynasty. Another one is yung budget will be marami maaring people will get a lot of budget from here and there supporters, and the supporter will have utang na loob. Doon magsisimula at dadami at mahirap na problema, which actually started from people who is dishonest. So the next people who will serve the country, those who will elect in the 2022 elections, they must have that question. Do they really love the country? Do they have that an ample amount of nationalism within them? Will they not do corruptions? Will they be honest in serving and loving their country? If they can answer that immediately with full honesty, swearing to God that they will serve the country well and good, then these are the people that we have to elect. These are the people that needs to be supported. We need to support those people who are honest, who will use their talent for the good of the country, who will serve without counting the cost. The question is, sino kaya sa mga tatakbo na mayroong ganyang qualities? And that is our job. Our job is to choose among them who are nationalistic, who have that love for the country, and who will serve without counting the cost.
That is true, sir. Now for our last question, especially for our
Last
youth
question.
who will vote for the first time. What advice can you give to the youth on how they can vote wisely?
Okay. The youth today, they are categorize us. Probably you are in the Gensers. Gensers are already those 18 and above can vote, no? But for the millennials, those who had voted once or twice or thrice, they had the experience. Okay, but for the youth, especially the Gensers, please have the duty, responsibility to fact check, to check the facts that are being that are feeding us through different platforms like social media, newspaper. You have to check all those information, verify them kasi in the election, including in the campaign, karamihan they will be using the social media. Okay, that is the easy access of the people who are campaigning, no? Now, they can really do a lot of magic in social media. Ang dami nilang pwedeng gawin doon. And if you are a new voter, bago ka pa lang, bata ka pa, you might be listening to a lot of informations. The question is, yung mga informations ba ay tama or mali? So that is the first thing that you have to do, to check the facts by coming up with a thorough analysis. Paano ba nag-a-analyze ng mga facts? Una, magtanong ka muna sa mga parents mo, no? Kung they are reliable ba yung mga sinasabi nila. The other is to not rely only on the information coming from your parents. Probably your teachers, no? Check them. And then do it on your own. Maghanap ka sa mga site with good reputations para ma-check mo yung information na sinasabi ng isang kandidato. Like for example, sinabi niya ay nakapag-aral daw siya sa ganitong paaralan. Is it true? You have to check it. Now, is it true that this candidate is telling you that he's not corrupt? So check mo yon. Kayang-kaya naman yan. Meron tayong mga informations that are available in the internet. Tignan mo lang yung pinaka-link kung reliable siya. So, you have to check that information. Second is, magandang gawin din ay yung mag-usap-usap kayong mga magkakaibigan to compare notes. Okay, like for me, no? I am actually rooting for one candidate. Pero nung napakinggan ko yung sinasabi ng mga kaibigan ko sa school, mga professors, we have different view about the candidate. So, there you could have, hindi ka lang limited into your own opinion. You are widening your opinion by sharing your opinion and somehow accepting other opinions para lumawak ang iyong kaalaman. Pangatlo, kinakailangan register voter ka. Hindi ka pwede bumoto pag hindi ka register voter. Then, pag register voter ka, make it sure na pagdating sa election, sa botohan, marami nagsasabi na, are you going to accept the bribe coming from buying your vote? Actually, do not accept anything. In our Constitution, in the Article 5 of the Philippine Constitution, yung suffrage, yung karapatang bumoto, it is a sacred responsibility, the sacred duty of a citizen to select, to choose. That is your God-given right to choose a worthy candidate. So, wag kang papabili, yung nasa konsensya mo, yung mga nasala mo na-check mo na widen na yung horizon mo, and then you have to cast your vote. And make it sure na bantayan mo yung boto mo. Okay? And your duty does not stop there, no? Hindi yung pag nagboto ka na tapos na, no? Tignan mo rin kung yung nanalo, yung example nanalo yung kandidato mo. And make it sure na is she or he consistent on his promises during campaign? Pag hindi, may karapatan ka rin magsalita because we are in a democratic country. So your duty is not only to select, but also to somehow magbantay, to safeguard, or to monitor the works and the decisions of the candidate who will win in the election.
Tama naman po yun, sir. And thank you, Dr. Evardone, for sharing your insights with us. Alright, mga ka-people, we will be right back after this short break. And that's all for today's episode. On behalf of the TV production class and Butter Productions, I would like to thank Andrea Alarcon, Jerick Rabe, and Dr. Salvador Evardone. I know for sure that our viewers were able to gather a lot of information from today's episode. Remember to exercise your right and duty to vote. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and click the notification bell to be notified of our next episode. See you next week!